G'day guys and girls, it's Mim here, and I have the Nosler Varmageddons in 35 grain. Basically look a lot like the Hornady VMax, but a little bit more copper before the tip. I'm really keen to see how these goes in comparison to them. Basically going to load them up on a few main groups after doing most of the development and just see how those last three groups go, and also get some readings through the chronograph. I've also measured them up and they're all pretty close, about 0.1 grain to 35, so really keen to see how they go. So I have my CZ527 in 22 Hornet that I use for the 22 Hornet. Basically I've loaded some main groups with 10.5 grains, 10.7 grains and 11 grains of AR2205 powder, which is an ADI powder. So here's a look at the projectile, and we'll basically do these groups at 100 meters, where I've done all my groups for my Hornet, my previous ammo comparisons.
Oh, did you want this recording? Yeah. Yeah, well, I don't think it was.
So the first group with 10.5 grains was unsuccessful. No idea what happened here. I was also using a rest, which the rifle didn't sit in nice, so I think that may have had something to do with it. But we got a velocity of 2564 feet per second. I'll redo this now. So at 100 meters with 10.5, we were able to achieve a group of 2.2 centimeters at 100 meters. So that's not too bad with velocities around 2564. So with 10.7 grains, had a decent group, basically 1.8 centimeters, and we're cranking 2700 feet per second. So that was overall pretty good for these. So with 11 grains of 2205 powder, we have achieved a group of 1.4 centimeters at 100 meters, which isn't too bad. We had some light winds, so overall good, consistent 2640 feet per second velocities. So in review of the data, if you look up the top, you can see that with 11 grains of powder, tightest group, and they're also very close to the bullseye, so wouldn't require much adjusting, of only basically just some elevation adjustment between that and running the VMaxes. Yeah, overall, I mean, the VMaxes, I got better groups. I got 1 centimeter groups at 100 meters with my VMax hand loads, and the wife actually got 0.9 centimeter groups with the Hornady soft points. They're real pointed slanted one when we used them in the previous video, but this was still good. I'd like to see how these perform on some varmint, and if I do get some vermin and I manage to autopsy out the projectiles, I'll pull them out and have a look and compare them to some of the Hornadies that I've pulled out, just to see the expansion. They seem a bit different. Looks like they might mushroom a little better than the VMaxes, where the VMaxes probably just explode, but we'll see how that goes. Overall, good projectile. No dramas reloading it, obviously, but yeah, some decent groups and some it's maintaining good groupings at higher velocities. So that's really good, and we'll see how we go shooting him. Cheers.